Remember when people said Apple would never make a foldable phone? Well, Apple just proved everyone wrong in the most unexpected way. A massive leak from their supply chain just revealed their secret weapon, the iPhone Flip. Not only is it real, but it's coming way sooner than anyone thought. And from what we've seen, Samsung should be seriously worried. Let's jump right into what makes this phone special, because Apple's not just following the crowd. They're completely changing the game. After years of watching other companies struggle with folding phones, Apple's been quietly perfecting their design. The leaked patents and supply chain documents show something truly revolutionary. We're looking at a clamshell design, but with a twist that only Apple could pull off. The main screen unfolds to a beautiful 6.7-inch display with ProMotion technology running at 120 Hz, but that's just the beginning. Apple's developed something they're calling self-healing display technology. Yeah, you heard that right. The screen can actually repair minor scratches and dents all by itself. This isn't some sci-fi concept. They've got the patents and working prototypes to prove it. But the real magic happens in the hinge. While other companies struggle with visible creases and durability issues, Apple's created a multi-layer suspension system that makes the crease practically invisible. They're using a new type of ultra-thin glass that can fold over 200,000 times without showing wear. The outer display is just as impressive, featuring color e-ink technology that sips battery while keeping you connected. The form factor itself is a masterpiece of engineering. When folded, it's actually smaller than the current iPhone 15, making it incredibly pocket-friendly. But open it up and you've got a screen that's perfect for everything from watching videos to editing photos. The best part? The whole thing is water and dust resistant, something most other foldables still can't manage. The camera setup on the iPhone Flip is where things get really interesting. Instead of compromising on camera quality like other foldables do, Apple's taking a completely different approach. The leaked specs show a dual camera system that's been specifically engineered for this folding form factor, and it's pretty clever how they've done it. When the phone's folded, you get a powerful 48-megapixel main sensor paired with a 12-megapixel ultra-wide. But here's the cool part. Thanks to the folding design, these main cameras can also be your selfie cameras. The outer display works as your viewfinder when the phone's folded, meaning you can finally take selfies with the main camera system. No more settling for lower quality front cameras. But Apple's gone even further. They've developed a new computational photography system that takes advantage of the folding design. You can use the phone's ability to stand on its own for some really creative shots. Want to take a long exposure photo? Just fold the phone halfway and set it down. No tripod needed. Time-lapse videos? Same thing. They've even added a new dual perspective mode that lets you record from both the folded and unfolded positions simultaneously. The camera app itself has been completely redesigned for this form factor. When the phone's folded, you get quick access to your most used features. Unfold it, and you get a pro-level interface with all your manual controls spread out in a way that makes sense. It's like having a point-and-shoot and a pro camera in one device. Moving under the hood, Apple's not cutting any corners with the iPhone Flip. They're packing in the same A19 Bionic chip that powers the regular iPhone 17, but they've had to get creative with how they handle the thermal management. The engineering team has developed what they're calling dual-zone cooling, a system that spreads the heat management across both halves of the phone. But the real story here is the software. iOS has been completely reimagined for the folding form factor. When the phone's folded, it works just like a regular iPhone. Unfold it, and everything transforms. Apps smoothly expand to fill the larger screen, but it's not just about making things bigger. Apple's created new interfaces that make sense for the larger display. Take messaging, for example. When the phone's unfolded and sitting at an angle, the bottom half becomes a full keyboard while the top shows your conversation. Want to watch a video? The controls automatically move to the bottom half, leaving the top clear for your content. It's little touches like this that show Apple's really thought about how people will actually use this device. They've also opened up new APIs for developers to create experiences that take advantage of the folding screen. Instagram's already working on a version that shows your feed on one half and stories on the other when unfolded. TikTok's testing out a new interface that puts comments on the bottom half while you watch videos on the top. The possibilities are endless, and developers are just getting started. Here's something that's going to make everyone happy. Apple's finally stepping up their charging game with the iPhone Flip. Instead of trying to cram one massive battery into a folding device, they've done something really clever. They're using a dual battery system that spreads the power across both halves of the phone. Early testing shows this setup is delivering some impressive results. The total capacity comes in at 4,500 milliampere hour, which might not sound huge compared to some Android phones, but remember, this is Apple we're talking about. Their optimization is on another level, and with the new A19 chip's efficiency improvements, we're looking at genuine all-day battery life. Even better, the phone adapts its power usage based on how you're using it. Having the phone folded, the outer display uses minimal power thanks to that e-ink technology. Charging is where things get really interesting. Apple's finally giving us 45-watt fast charging support. It's nearly twice as fast as current iPhones. But the real game changer is what they're calling dual-zone wireless charging. The phone has charging coils in both halves, so you can charge it wirelessly whether it's folded or unfolded. Plus, it supports the new Qi 2 standard, which means perfect alignment every time thanks to MagSafe-style magnets. They've even thought about reverse wireless charging. You can use either half of the phone to charge your AirPods or Apple Watch. It's a kind of thoughtful integration we've come to expect from Apple, and it shows they're thinking about the whole ecosystem, not just the phone itself. Now for the part everyone's been waiting for. How much is this going to cost? Here's the surprising part. While it's definitely not cheap, it's more competitive than anyone expected. The base model iPhone Flip will start at $1,499 with 256 gigabytes of storage. Yes, that's $200 more than a regular iPhone 17 Pro, but it's actually $300 less than what Samsung launched their first Flip at. The release timeline is looking pretty solid too, all signs pointing to a special Apple event in September 2025, with the phone hitting stores in early October. Pre-orders will likely start right after the announcement, and Apple's already ramping up production to meet what they expect to be massive demand. They're also doing something interesting with the storage tiers. The base 256 gigabyte model is joined by 512 gigabyte and 1 terabyte options, each stepping up by $100. But here's the clever bit. Apple's offering a special pre-order deal where early buyers can get their next storage tier up for free. It's a smart way to encourage early adoption and build momentum for the launch. The release strategy is global too, no regional restrictions like we've seen with some other foldable launches. Apple's confident in their supply chain's ability to meet demand thanks to some clever partnerships they've built over the past few years while developing this device. Moving on to something really exciting, the colors and finish options for the iPhone Flip. Apple's going bold here, offering their widest color range ever for a flagship device. The standard finishes include Starlight, Midnight, and Product Red, but they're also introducing some exclusive colors just for the Flip: Glacier Blue, Rose Gold, and a stunning new graphite that changes tones as it catches the light. The frame is carved from a single piece of titanium, just like the iPhone 15 Pro, but they've added some special touches. The hinge mechanism, for example, has this beautiful brushed finish that not only looks premium, but also helps hide fingerprints. The back glass uses new frosted technique that creates this amazing depth effect. It almost looks like you're staring into a pool of color. What's really cool is how they've handled the transition between the two halves. When the phone's unfolded, it looks like one seamless piece. The hinge disappears into the design in a way that makes other foldables look clunky in comparison. And those color options? They're not just surface treatments. Apple's actually infused the titanium with the colors at a molecular level, making them incredibly durable. Let's wrap this up by talking about what the iPhone Flip means for the future of smartphones. This isn't just Apple dipping their toes into the foldable market. It's them completely reimagining what a phone can be. With their 7-year software support promise and the hardware to back it up, they're building something that's meant to last. The iPhone Flip represents Apple doing what they do best, not being first, but being the best. They've watched others struggle with durability issues, creased displays, and compromised cameras. Instead of rushing to market, they've taken their time to solve these problems in typical Apple fashion. The result is a device that feels less like a first-generation product and more like a refined vision of what foldable phones should have been all along. Well, that's all for today. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think about the iPhone Flip. Are you excited about Apple finally joining the foldable game? What feature caught your attention the most? Hit that like button if you found this helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more Apple news and leaks. We'll be back with more details as they emerge. See you in the next one.